About 11 years ago, I wrote this poem. It was inspired by an event. I was holding my grandson, who was 2 at the time, to go into the funeral of his father, who had overdosed, who was only 21. And as we were getting out of the van to go in for my grandson's father's funeral, I heard a woodpecker on a cross tapping on it. Only the strange thing was it was an iron cross that somebody had welded up and made a nice cross for the front of the church. And that woodpecker got on there and was hammering on that steel. And I saw it, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. And I went to work that next week and wrote this poem down with no corrections. It just flowed out. So I'd like to read it to you now, if you don't mind. I've since printed a book of my poems, and I put it in there. But it's about that time of year again when the snow's melting, so you'll get the gist of it. So let me read it to you, if you will. The snow was melting one pre-spring day. Rays of sunlight were having their way. Water was dripping from off of the eaves, hitting the ground and soaking the leaves. The sound of the water off of the church, I spotted a bird who found a new perch, sitting atop an old iron cross, making the sweetest sound I come across. Using his beak to tap out a ring, when other birds around were content to just sing. Rat-a-tat-tat on the old chunk iron. Rat-a-tat-tat, the old bird was trying. To make a dent, I don't think he could. Cross made of iron, not made of wood. It got me to thinking, was it in vain? All of that pounding, was he insane? Well, I sure enjoyed it. I'll never forget the woodpecker on the cross, the place where he sit. Do you think the bird knows the symbol of this tree? How Jesus came and died for souls like you and me? Do you think the bird knows the Creator Maker Bee, who made a cross of iron, the symbol of a tree? The sounds are resonating, so all the neighbors hear. If only they would listen and know the Savior's near. Most seem too busy to give a care at all. That bird keeps a-tapping, that cross so way up tall. So stand still and listen, and try to understand that God's communicating the best way that He can. Just look around and listen, wherever you may stand. Be surprised and awestruck by what you come across, even if you're hearing a woodpecker on a cross.